this case, the contained cannot be accepted and understood in its own right. An example might be a mother who responds to an infant's distress, but responds with exasperation rather than with a soothing attitude, or a therapist who responds to a patient's rage with defensive measures rather than acceptance and a genuine curiosity to better comprehend the response. So we're beginning to understand that the idea of containing the child, responding to the child, and what it looks like. And at times it looks like rejection and judgment. At times it looks like becoming overly anxious in an attempt to rescue the child from their distress. And you should know this. In fact, I'm going to make a really big point of this by the end of the webinar. That two things come out of analytic theory that I think can be damaging messages. And the first and most simple one is they often refer to the mother. Later on in more modern psychoanalytic theories, they talk about the functional mother, or they'll refer to the parent. So that's the first thing, is it looks mother focused and mother blaming. The second thing, more generally, of course, is that it is globally blaming of the parent for the child's problems. And I'm definitely going to steer away from that idea fundamentally because I don't believe in it. And I think that it really misses, one of the things that analytic theory misses is the opportunity to talk about the systemic interaction between parent and child. So, Bion characterized this parent in the following way. From the infant's point of view, she could have taken her into her, and thus experienced the child's fears of distress. It was the fear the child could not contain for himself. An understanding parent is able to experience the feeling of dread that the baby was striving to deal with by projective identification, and yet retain a balanced outlook. And while this language is very clinical, I think the simple point is here. This is what is being asked of us in our communication model at Second Nature, is to be able to hear or feel any of the child's emotions without becoming entangled. So that you can in essence, be a safe place, a safe container for the child's discharged emotions of anger, frustration, disappointment, hurt, sadness, loneliness, anxiety. And that you can respond to it in a way that is balanced, that is rational. So that's what they're talking about in this first example. The second example then is when the contained